Commonwealth Bank on WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com, and it is 7:46. It's time for an interview segment brought to you by our friends at Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. When it comes to Blairsville Borough, sometimes we get a lot of different people in here, and this time we've got some really good friends with us this morning. So joining us now, left to right, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, Dave Janusek of Blairsville Borough Council. We also have with us, representing the Blairsville Fire Department, Dettorre. You might hear me call him Coach every now and then. That's just it's what I call him every now and then. But we also have Zach Dixon joining us as well. Gentlemen, good morning. How are you doing?
Good.
Well, thank you, Josh.
All right. How are your holidays, first and foremost?
Still going on.
Still going on? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been going on since Christmas Eve, and now it's leading into my grandson's birthday today, and
nice.
Onward to Chuck E. Cheese.
You may want to step a little closer to the mic, though, there, Ab. You know how you've been here enough.
Yeah, I know, but.
And Zach, how was your holiday so far?
Good. I got a little one home, so it's always enjoyable with a little one.
All right. You also need to take it about one pace closer. There we go. So, gentlemen, of course, one of the traditions and that has been part of Blairsville for many years has been the polar plunge. And from what I had heard whenever you and I were talking initially about this, Ab, is that it may not take place. But this year, it is. I mean, there were some flyers that went up on Facebook, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? I'm hearing from one side it isn't. I'm hearing from one side it is. It is on, from what I understand, right? Anybody can take this one.
It's definitely on. There were some management changes in the recreation department, which led to, a few flaws about whether it would happen or not, and that came about simply from an organizational standpoint. But you got to give credit where credit's due. Connie Constantino, who is a driving force in a lot of things in Blairsville, whether it's recreation, through the council, as a participant from the audience at times, and certainly with the school board at River Valley. She got behind it, brought it about, and wanted the fire department, of course, to take it over. And, I think, and they were legitimate concerns. The liability factor and so forth for the fire department was brought up, and once that was ironed out, I think I'll let Zach jump in a little bit there about that, and how we came about doing what we always do as far as the fire department is concerned.
So Zach, go ahead and take up the story here. I mean, you talked, Coach Dettorre talked about a lot of the details that needed to be ironed out, chief among them liability. What were some of the other things that needed to be ironed out?
So the day of, the fire department, the water rescue team specifically, takes care of the safety aspect of it. So we put forth a lot of manpower efforts there. So we didn't want to absorb all the administrative efforts to go with it too. So Parks and Rec stepped up and took care of that. Another volunteer, Victoria McCauley, she's also stepping in there and taking care of all the registration, the liability stuff, the waivers, things like that. The Parks and Rec always did to make sure that everything can take place, of course, safely, and then make sure there's no liability issues with the borough.
All right. So with the borough, Dave, this is, as I said, this has been a great tradition for many
17
years.
This will be the 17th annual, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Yeah. 17. And it's, I think this year, in the past, the event has usually benefited an individual.
Or one organization or something
right.
like that. I do remember the one year that it was for the Teddy Bear Fund Drive, and I got rooked into going into the drink.
Well,
Do you know what? That's an experience I'll never forget for many positive reasons.
Well, there are many people that would like to see that same experience. I
don't know if I'm available on that day, Coach.
I'm willing to move the date just for you.
Coach, come on, let's. I braved it once, and as exhilarating as it was, I also kind of got razzed because people were saying, "Josh, you didn't go all the way in." But it's not about going all the way in and dunking yourself into the cold briny in that situation. You called me a hero even for going in waist up.
Well, that is part of it. I mean, I think if you stick your pinky toe in, you did it. And it's because of the cause is why you're doing it. And as you've mentioned in the past, and it's a little different cause this year, and it's much appreciated. It certainly wasn't solicited by the fire department, but it's expensive, whether you're running a fire department or you're running a swiftwater rescue team or a scuba dive team, and it benefits the fire department dive team this year, and we're happy about that.
Let's talk about that dive team, because the swiftwater rescue team, very important in Blairsville, because you do have that mighty river flowing through it. And the dive and the water rescue team has been called out many times over the past couple of years for various incidents there, Zach. So the importance of having a team like that at the ready. Talk about it for a little bit.
So the Blairsville Water Rescue Team is part of, well, it's actually two parts in one. So the one core component of, we are part of the Indiana County Water Rescue Team. So that is composed of Blairsville, Saltsburg, and Templeton, and we each have 2 boats and a lot of water rescue personnel. But Blairsville specifically is also certified as a VRSR, which is Voluntary Rescue Service Recognition, through the state. And what that means is we've gone through an extensive amount of training. We have quite a cache of equipment, and every year they actually come in, every 3 years they have to come in and certify our personnel and all of our equipment to be certified to be deployed anywhere in the state for swiftwater rescue.
Wow.
And actually, people think fire department and water rescue goes hand in hand, but the gear and equipment and training we use on a water rescue call is totally separate from the fire rescue things.
Totally separate and totally different techniques as well.
Absolutely.
So definitely the training is needed. And the fact that this year it is benefiting you guys in that respect. Also, I think the Polar Plunge is kind of an annual exercise for the team as well, right?
Absolutely. We get the guys in the water, get them in gear, get them wet. Yes, sir.
All right, let's get particulars for the Polar
so some
Plunge.
particulars. It's obviously January 1st, 17th annual. It's $20 to register. Now, we talked about going in. You don't have to participate. On the Blairsville Rec Facebook page, you'll see a form for participating. So you can either ask friends to, contribute to your cause. There's also a non-participant form. So say that you're not into the. Say you don't need. Say you don't need. I don't need to do it again. So you don't need a New Year's bath, but nonetheless, you can still help out the fire department. And that all starts at noon on January 1st. It's a $20 donation. You get a shirt out of it. Coffee, pizza, donuts. Any Dettorre spaghettis or
nothing? But just camaraderie. We'll have a bonfire down there. It's probably going to drop in temperature a few degrees.
Oh, I would imagine. So, Ab, I mean, come on. I'm already looking at the forecast for Monday. 39 degrees, mostly cloudy, snow showers. That's actually a calm forecast.
Yeah, it's warm for a lot of these, because I remember one where the water was 31 degrees and the ice crystals were hitting you as you were going through the water.
Oh gosh, please!
So it's exhilarating to say the least.
Yeah.
But, the challenge is always out there, Josh.
I know, and it is a challenge, but it's a challenge that goes to some worthy causes. While I have you two here representing Blairsville Fire Department, let's get the word out there to see if we can get some more volunteers in, because you've mentioned this, I think, Ab, at some of the borough council meetings that you are on. That the volunteers are still desperately needed, not just in Blairsville Fire Department, but everywhere else, too.
Absolutely. And it doesn't just have to be a male. We have some outstanding women members, as do probably most fire departments today. You can actually start in our junior program, which Adam Dowdrick, one of our assistant chiefs, operates. He does a heck of a job. We have a current member now who's very close to becoming a full-time member as he ages in.
Good.
But every place needs them. Every form of EMS in general needs people to work there, and it's kind of an anomaly today, I think, when you look at the big picture. Because when I joined just a few years ago, more than a few, but
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
You had to wait to get in. We had a 65-man allotment according to our bylaws, and you had to usually wait to get in. But
you had to wait for a slot.
Yeah, you did. And once I got in, I always tell people this, that, I think it's one of the best organizations that anybody can get involved with. And I'm speaking mostly about us, because that's what I know the most about. But I think that it's time well spent. I think people need to reinvent the idea that John Kennedy mentioned many, many years ago, that, you shouldn't be asking what your community can do for you.
You got to ask what you do for your community.
What can I do for my community? Now, that's a stretch from your nation.
Yeah.
It's the same idea.
Yeah.
In order to survive today, you need people that are going to be willing to step up and help out, and every town needs them.
Zach, talk about it from the Blairsville Fire Department. I mean, you're there every time. Manpower always an issue sometimes.
Absolutely. We need volunteers, and we need volunteers in all aspects. We need firefighters. Blairsville also has a support membership. So if you want to volunteer your time with the Blairsville Fire Department, help the community, we have positions there. You can help with fundraisers. You can help on building maintenance. You can help with truck maintenance. If you're willing to help us serve, we'll find a place for you.
Just contact a fireman to find out more.
Absolutely.
Dave, I know we got a lot more events going on. I'm sorry to keep you.
No. I just want to also, just wrapping up the Polar Plunge. You can get those forms on the Blairsville Community Rec Center Facebook page or at 101 East North Lane. More information on that, 724-459-6790. One other fundraiser, these guys they're modest in their fundraising, I guess. Also, Blairsville Fire Department Golf Bash, February 4th, $30 a ticket, only 250 tickets sold. Food, beverages, it's 1:30 to 4:30. It's kind of like a cash bash or a gun bash.
Yeah,
every hour.
But it's themed towards golf in this case.
Absolutely. Again, see any firemen for tickets. Only, like I said, 250 are being printed. 724-459-8111, 8111. Also, want to make talking about recreation. We are still looking into Blairsville Borough for a recreation coordinator to help us run our recreation programs.
Okay.
It's a part-time position right now. We're looking to make it full-time if we can see more work for it. Send resumes to jpoorbaughg, JPOORBAUGH at BlairsvilleBorough.org. The job description's on the community recreation page also, or you can give them a call at 724-459-9100.
I think we got time for one more
thing. Okay, so one thing I do want to say, we're coming up on, I know we talked about this a lot, 2024, 2025 will be Blairsville's bicentennial. So we are, again, starting that committee up and running during 2024. More information, 724-459-0580. Looking for volunteers, parade, gala, a lot of different things there. So that's some of the things that are coming up next year.
All right, gentlemen, we're at the mark. Thank you very much for joining us. And I hope the Polar Plunge is a success. Who knows? I might be over there doing some videotaping. How about that?
Well, I hope so. Maybe you got a nudge.
No, don't. I better be careful then. I'll be carrying my phone. Indiana in the Morning presented by First Commonwealth Bank.
This is Bill Hillgrove on behalf of